My book is for what they deemed on social media. It's the Mistress Bible, but the wife can benefit from it. I mean, heck,
What are the benefits of being a mistress?
money. I mean, for real, that's the only benefit to get. I mean, and maybe just to learn people, because the benefit is really for the husband. There's no benefit for you, and that's one reason why my book is different.
Hey, this is Shantae, and welcome to BK Xposure. Today I have my special guest, Miss Noella Fe.
Hi, guys.
Secrets of the Happy Mistress.
Yes,
This is
that's
Noella's first book.
Yes.
She's a new author,
Mm-hmm.
and it's her. I read the book, and it's some things in there that we need to discuss. But first, Noella, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
I'm just another imagination writing wild. What can I say? I'm an author of Secrets of a Happy Mistress. I'm also a media personality. Everywhere, I am the conservative whore. Whore stands for working hard on riches and egos. And that's what I do. I bring light to situations that everybody talks about, but nobody wants to talk about. Talk a lot of crap.
Explain why whore.
Because nobody else would do it. Why not? Everybody wants to take what is popular and they want to brand themselves in that way. It's no originality to a lot of the things that people are coming out with, whether you want to be a bad bee or, you look at it and what's the substance of it? How can you make it good? You don't see any good in that, but you could take whore even on a higher level. That's still nothing but a master of skill. Whore still stands for someone that is at the top of the chain, if we want to take it to different names of calling of women or what have you. It's still something that could be turned into something positive.
So you feel like taking a derogatory term like whore and tell us again, what does that mean?
Working hard on riches and egos.
Okay.
To get ahead in life, you're only going to be able to do that by your reputation and your finances, either what you have or who you know and how people view you. If you can mingle in every society, if you can be versatile, if you can deal with everyone, because a lot of people create these acronyms or these derogatory terms, but it doesn't fit everywhere. I can fit everywhere because I don't have to be the whore when you meet me. I just might be the conservative working hard on riches and egos.
Right.
You see, it just depends on where you go.
But do you feel like explaining that to everybody that you meet?
If I have to, yes. Why not? Yes. I don't have a problem with it, and usually I have to.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
You're a walking explanation.
That's
because
right.
You have to be like, okay, what does whore mean?
And nobody can do it but me.
Right.
That's why I did it. There's nobody else that can do it but me.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up DMV, but I was born here in Brooklyn. But my dad, shouts to my dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad. So it begins.
Secrets of a Happy Mistress. That is Noella's book. So, there's a lot of people that's probably mad at you for writing this book.
I don't know why.
Why this book?
Why would they be mad?
But a mistress is not someone that usually is like celebrated, or is she?
I'm sorry. We got to look right now. Ain't everybody drinking lemonade? We still don't know who Becca is. Why? Because Becca is a happy mistress. You don't know who she is. Beyonce ain't telling you. Jay-Z ain't saying nothing. So it's yeah, they're out there. But seriously, and there are women. There's a lot of different reasons. The main people, anybody would be mad because they're thinking about sex in that sense, and it's not about that.
So tell me, why did you write the book?
Well, honestly, because I was dealing with someone and he was just like, we've been together so long and, you're like my second wife. He was like, why you just don't sit down and write a book? You know what? Gosh darn it. Yes, I will do that. Boom.
So what makes your book different from the other mistresses who have come out?
One, because I'm telling you, but I'm still keeping my mouth shut. I'm not telling you. Mm-hmm. Number one, I'm really not telling you how to do anything except to be happy with the decisions that you make. So you have to read the book. You never judge a book by its cover. I'm not you. I'm just saying the people. I know you read it. So it's a lot of different twists. Even as a wife, my book is for what they deemed on social media. It's the Mistress Bible, but the wife can benefit from it. I mean, heck,
What are the benefits of being a mistress?
ooh, I mean, money. I mean, for real. That's the only benefit, the gifts. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and maybe just to learn people because the benefit is really for the husband. There's no benefit for you. And that's one reason why my book is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because most books will tell you, even as a side chick, that you're supposed to benefit from something or that something belongs to you. I use the analogy of just like when you go to school and you have those toys and you get to play with them all day long. But at the end of the day, you have to put those toys back and you have to go home. And even though you might go home and you might dream, dang, I can't wait till I get back to school to play with that ping pong set because I didn't get to play with that joint yesterday. But you know you have to go home. And you know that if you take it home, you're going to get in trouble and you'll be disciplined for that. And you're still going to have to take it back to school. So it's the same thing. It's not yours.
Right. But I mean, I've read the book, and I found some points that were helpful. But I also felt like we giving the men too much power because they're choosing to have these mistresses and their wives, and like we're giving them everything.
But why? You have a choice. You don't have to. Ain't nobody told you to mess with nobody, man.
Right, but
you have a
he's
choice.
agreeing to it. He's
Okay,
like,
and so are you. But that's a choice.
but your choice could be, well, I'm not going to participate in that
It could be.
because.
It could be, but a lot of married men are single.
Explain that.
I don't know you are or they are married, or most of the time women don't know that men are married when they're approached. The only people that know is him, his wife, and baby Jesus, okay? There is nobody else that knows that when he's out in the club without
True,
his
I
token
agree.
on.
I agree.
You know, and some of these men are really, I mean, double lives. You would never know. You know, it's about to find out, you have to really observe. And it depends really what's going on. You have to depend what are the needs. I talk about that in the book. You got to figure out what are you there for. You know, I mean, it may seem like a bad thing, but I guess it depends on the players. It could be bad for the wife unless she set it up. Some wives, for whatever reason, they allow it to happen. Let's look at Latoya, Monique. I mean, just so some of our viewers could relate because they don't know Joe, Bob, and Jim. Okay. They don't know them folks down at the country bar doing the same thing.
Right.
But
right. I hear you.
here you have Toya. You have the situation, if we want to remember Tiny with the Mayweather and the T.I. And I don't want no problems, T.I. I don't want no problems. But just to give an example of if that was a situation where she was stepping out, his only thing is respect my wife. And it really don't matter. That's our business. So this is not something that can't be done. Sometimes it's necessary to keep a marriage together.
In whose eyes?
In a lot of people's eyes.
In the wife's eyes?
In the wife's eyes, the husband's wife. Yeah, and in the wife's eyes, especially if she knows about it. It's only cheating if you don't know.
It's only cheating if you don't.
It's only cheating if you don't know. You can't say if you were married, your husband comes to you, and I'll ask you this: what would you rather have? Would you rather your husband come to you and say, "Listen, I was in the bar, and I was with Sam and them, and this woman brushed up against me, and babe, I felt something that I've never felt before," versus him coming home and hiding his feelings. Now, he's a man. Now, see, this is what we also do as women sometimes, and a lot of people will be mad. Sometimes what we do is we give them that man title, but we don't allow them to be men. And being a part of a man is being able to express yourself with not fear that your wife is going to go crazy and and all these insecurities are going to come out of her. Because 9 times out of 10, that your reaction is either going to make him go ahead or sit down. But that's a part of marriage.
So you're saying that the first step is honesty. So
Everybody has to be honest.
Right, and so then when he sits down and has this conversation with his wife, you know, if she says, well, you know, it could be 2 reactions. She can go crazy, like you said, or she can, you know, say, well, honey, you know,
we have to deal with it.
Yeah, right?
I mean, we have to, and I'm not going to say most. I'm going to say a lot of women, a lot of men, a lot of marriages aren't built like that. For whatever reason, doesn't come until after so many times of cheating and somebody finally says, let's work on it. Let's go to therapy.
But most times it's easier I know we've all have been cheated on, you know, so sometimes it's easier. I have. I'm sure a lot of women out here has as well.
Right.
So as someone who's been cheated on, you know, if your husband comes to you and say, but most times that doesn't happen. So you're talking about things that don't normally happen because he's not going to say, hey, honey, I found this, you know, this nice hot chicken.
See, we're not used to it being normal.
Right, but it doesn't happen.
Who says it doesn't happen? It's just that there's more women that have been cheated on versus more women that know and don't say it's cheating, because it's not cheating. You can't deem it cheating if you know the move of your opponent.
So what would you say to wives whose husbands come and would say those things to them?
Deal with it. That's all you can do. You deal with it. I'm not saying you have to accept it as a wife. I'm not, in my book, I am not really on either side. What I'm saying is whatever you choose to do, the husband, make sure you do your research on this girl that you want to deal with on the side, or this woman, because some aren't crazy. They're not a lot. You know, and then again, I can't say they're not a lot because you won't know, because they keep their mouth shut. Mm-hmm. But you see the ones that are upset, that wanted more, that thought that they were going to be wives, because they're out telling. They have #1 bestseller books. Mm-hmm. They are on reality shows because they're willing to spill the beans. So everybody has to, #1, be honest, be accountable, be responsible for whatever happens.
I know in your book, I can't remember the chapter, but I think you were talking about the woman who knew.
The wife that knows.
The wife that knows.
Right.
And how do you have that conversation? Do you have a conversation? Do you have a conversation with the wife? What if the wife wants to ask you, like, why do you have my husband?
No. Mm-mm. I don't communicate with wives unless it's a situation where you do have situations, and I'm just speaking because for this book also I took other people's experience as well. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, older women, I found out now that's the old school G way.
Right.
Sir, what the other woman? Shirley? I'm just calling you because you know Jim is my man, and I know you've been messing with Jim. Y'all been having...
Right, exactly.
So it was the norm. You understand what I'm saying? But it's about how you conduct yourself. It's about everybody better stay in their lane. Mm-hmm. You know, for wives, like I said, you have to talk it through. What works for you works for you. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. I mean, you think about it. You think she's going to throw her marriage away because her man cheated? Her marriage is worth more than that. So
yeah, that's not necessarily a end all to be all if your man cheats.
You could be separated.
But how do you, what are your tips for the wives to keep their husbands from stepping out? Is there any such thing?
I don't think there's a such thing, because I think a man and or a woman is going to do what they want to do. There is nothing you can do. You can be the best of everything. There's nothing you can do to keep anybody where they don't want to be kept. Period. I don't care. You can make it rain gold. If that mug don't want to be there, I'm tired of all this gold. I got gold every day.
Why is it so hard for the man just to say, I don't want to be with you. I just want to be, I want to step out.
Some women say that, and a lot of times they can't verbally say it. But
no, I said, why is it that why the man can't say that?
That's what I'm saying. The men, sometimes they can't say it because either the woman is not ready emotionally to deal with that, or there's no communication. It's about fear.
I just feel like women, we allow the cheating because it's the one who says, I'm going to cheat mm-hmm. with this married man that I know he's married. Mm-hmm. You know, so you're in a sense condoning it because he's married and you know it.
No, I'm not married to y'all. That's y'all. I don't have anything to do with that. And that's the thing. Wives have to stop making women accountable, because a lot of times, like I said, we don't know. And let me tell you something. What I'm not going to do is every man I meet, are you married? Listen. Because if they don't want you to know, you're not going to know. Anytime that I've been in this position, it's been because it's been a year, 2, 3 years in, and now I'm noticing some things where I haven't noticed before, because now it's affecting what we have going on. Mm-hmm. And I just have a position that I'm not going to throw that away because I just found out that he's been with you for 10 years. Well, guess what? My 3 years are very important to me, and y'all going to have to work it out. That's it.
Well, one of my experiences is I met somebody mm-hmm. who happened to be married, which mm-hmm. I didn't know he was married mm-hmm. until, because he didn't have a wedding ring on, never said he was married, never talked about it, anything. So mm-hmm. I'm assuming that he was single because he said he was single. Mm-hmm. And then, lo and behold, to social media, mm-hmm. he has a ring on in his pictures, on the ring finger. Mm-hmm. So
how long before you found out?
This was like a month in.
Oh, that's not bad.
So I just so happened to be going through his social media pictures, and I saw him with the wedding ring on.
Mm-hmm.
So then, you know how women are. We have to explore. So I'm going further and further. I'm seeing that, you know, he's have to switching the ring on different fingers,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a wedding band. That's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So when I asked him about the wedding band, he told me that he wasn't married,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that most women don't ask when they see a wedding band. So he's like, if I want to wear a ring on my finger,
Mm-hmm.
that's my business, you know,
Mhm.
and got upset because I asked.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, well, if you're married, just say that, because then,
Mhm.
you know,
We can move however we
right,
need to, whatever
exactly,
needs to be
but
done.
don't lie about it and then
Mhm.
make it seem like I'm wrong for asking. So
Mhm.
his statement to me was that most women don't even ask. They see the ring and still don't care. That to me is a problem, because
Right.
you're not respecting, you know, you're not respecting the union that somebody has. Whatever goes on behind closed doors is their business, like you said. But if you actually see the band and then don't question,
Right.
you have to question yourself. Like, okay, you know, why?
Right.
You know, so then he, you know, then the other telltale signs, he was
Mhm.
married. He ended up, you know, being married.
Right.
You know, you can't reach them after a certain time. You know, you never get the house phone number. Even
I
though
mean-
a lot of people don't have house phones, but
Right.
you know, you never get to reach them at a certain time, and
Right.
you know, Sundays you can't reach them.
Mhm.
The
Ooh,
phone
that's
on the
family day.
voicemail. Exactly.
Man, Sunday is family day, honey. Jesus.
So I mean, you know how it go.
Yeah.
But just to my point is that I'm talking so loud. My point is that just say it.
Right. Right.
You know, so that we can
That's
all be
how
on the same page.
I feel that way. You know, just say it. But most times, men know that once they say it, that it's a probability that there won't be pretendship, and that's just.
Let's talk about this chapter. Never try to be more than what you are. What he says you as his mistress. Explain that.
Basically, don't try to be the wife. Don't try to be anything. Don't try to be a baby mama. Don't go out there have no babies. You're not a mistress no more. Now you're a baby mama. Okay? Stay in your lane. Don't bash the wife. Don't be trying to, you know, just don't do what he has a wife. You know what I'm saying? He don't do wifely duties. Be the fantasy, because that's what you are. You in this game here, you have to wear many hats. And that's just what it is. But you can't want that position, because in reality, he's cheating on his wife. Do you really want that position? The reality of it, if you become his wife, who says him not going to cheat on you?
Right. And who says you're going to become his wife? Even if he does.
Especially if you have some days, especially if you had them babies. Look at Mina. See what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody lied today. Ain't nobody lied today. Look at Mina. Crazy. And she started as the side chick, moved up, and moved back down, had a baby, and became the mistress again.
But only because she allowed herself to do that.
And then had another baby.
That,
No,
right?
only because that's what she wanted.
Right.
And
Where
I
does it
don't
end?
agree anything. Like I said, this book is not, and I hold a certain respect about it, because there is a separation of two type of women. There is the woman that goes out and looks for married men,
Right.
that prays or goes out and wants those situations. The woman I might be talking about is either the woman that the wife has sought out, and it's a mutual understanding. I mean, come on. This is where you have threesomes. This is how things like that get started, because maybe it started as a sexual act and then something else needed to be fulfilled. I'm talking about a woman that 2-3 years passed and she didn't know this man was married, but now they have started doing whatever. And I'm also talking about the woman that once she decides this is what she wants to do. Don't get me wrong, everything is not holier than thou and all that. There are women, but it's still not what you do, it's how you do it. Happy.
I appreciate
For
you
real.
telling your story and clarifying.
I mean, you have to. Everybody is.
What about the man? Where's his responsibility in all this? Does
To
he
be
have
honest with yourself and to be honest with your mate. That's the main response. Everybody has an equal responsibility. Nobody's responsible in marriage. Nobody's role is more than the other to make each other happy, to get things done. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you want to do in a marriage is nobody. The husband doesn't bear more weight than a woman. it may seem like that, but it's still even. So that's all,
I mean, and not for nothing, but living double lives, like how long can you do that?
Some people do it for a long time. I mean, you got to talk to these people. Their granddaddy got 45 kids. I mean, somebody listen, Linda.
What do you want women to take from this?
I want them to take from it, one, I want women that aren't married to calm down because you can't speak for wives. I want wives to stop blaming the women because it's all about your marriage. You know, a mistress has never been a problem. The problem has it's already been brewing in your home. She just might be an outside solution. Even if it's not for the wife, it might be for the man. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's what you get out of the book. Be honest. It's about being honest with yourself, period. Whether your husband comes to you or not, it's still about having the maturity enough to deal with it. Your feelings might get hurt, but you still have to deal with it. And people are scared of that. That's why it's such a big mess.
And what do you, as far as your experience, is this something that you would do again? Would you continue?
You can't. I never want to be, because I'm selfish. I never want to purposely be in that situation. Because I'm very nosy, it's very hard for me to get in that situation going forth, because I've dealt with it before. I mean, it's very obvious, all the signs. Once you deal with it one time,
right,
then you get to know the signs. Like you said, you can't call after a certain time. I only speak to you on lunch in the morning. Well, where are you at on Thursday night?
Forget about Christmas and
I mean, and then you have those men that can be there on those holidays.
Right.
So this is what I'm saying. Some wives have to look at the actions of their husbands. Some men are very calculated in what they're doing, especially for what they want.
Right.
Some women are bosses in their house. They wear the pants. Some men cheat just because they want a woman. So I mean,
what is your
take
advice?
care of your marriage.
What's
That's
your
the advice.
To the wives?
Take care of your marriage. That's all you can do.
Take care of your marriage.
Stop worrying about him cheating. A lot of wives lose their husbands to the fact because they're not cheating, but you want him to cheat, because
so you always accuse him.
Broken people can't love unbroken people. You know.
Well, it's good that you're brave enough to take this on. I mean, just the title, The Happy Mistress, is enough to make anybody want to fire up and attack. So, I commend you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us what you have going on. What else you have going on?
Well, like I said, I am the creator of the media personality, The Conservative Whore, which is basically anything on media. I have a Periscope on Tuesday that you can catch at 9 p.m. Where I discuss a wide range of topics. You can catch me on Tumblr, everything theconservativewhore.com. You can find me, okay? I have a publishing company, Sister Lady Friend. We have 2 great authors coming out full bloom in July. I have a lot going on, so you have to visit the website, noellafesays.com. Stay in the loop.
Another question. What drives Noella Fe? What drives you?
The madness. I don't even know. That probably, when I get on that really A-list status, you'll probably have to interview the people that are around me. Because I can't tell you. I won't even remember this interview. I have to go back and say, did I do that? No, she didn't. I don't. I'm like Beyonce. She turns into Sasha. I guess I turn into the conservative whore. Or maybe she turns into Noella. I don't know. You gotta.
Where can we find your book?
Amazon.com. Secrets of a Happy Mistress. Go in there, check out the reviews, tap around a little bit, snoop around my pages if you're scared, but just walk on my side. I mean, take a chance. Jump at it.
Well, we are running out of time, but we definitely have to have you come back on. And we have to have a breakdown of this.
I'm ready. Are you ready for the breakdown?
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm just like, I'm on the fence. I mean, I love what you're doing, and being a woman as well. So I promote women in business and entrepreneurs, writers, and everything else. But to get down to the nitty gritty, I want to dig a little deeper.
Well, honey, you got to see the rest of the books that's coming out. If you think that's something,
Because I wanna dig deeper.
dig deeper. I mean, it's about learning people. I mean, you don't know. And like I said, for the mistress, there's a note in there for her too. You know, this is not something that you should make a career out of doing. Just spread love and keep it moving. I know it may sound like spread love. Are you telling somebody to spread love on my husband? I don't know. I'm just saying, be happy.
Yeah, be happy goes. That's within yourself. You don't need a man to be happy.
You don't.
You don't need a man. You don't need.
You don't need a man. You don't need a marriage. You don't need any of that. And that goes to some wives. Like, don't say it's never okay to be abused, whether it's verbally, physically, mentally, socially. You don't have to stay. I'm not, because then you have the other side. I am a fighter for marriage. I believe in, until you have done everything that you could do. But don't stay. If you know you have a mechanical cheater, Jesus Christmas.
And being a wife who's been cheated on, or when your man is in another relationship, that is abuse. You're being abused.
No, it isn't.
It is. You're being abused.
My husband has a girlfriend. I ain't no abuse. I am married and have. Hey, boo. Sunday dinner? Okay. No, ain't no abuse. That's a myth too. Can't say that.
I don't see how you can say it's not.
I just said it. It's not abuse.
How is it not abuse?
Because there's nothing. Listen, we ain't got anything for each other.
Right, but how does that make you feel? Well, you say you've never been cheated on. But for someone who has been cheated on, and I'm sure a lot of women,
it's a lot of hurt.
Audience, right?
I advise a lot of women.
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible feeling.
It is a horrible feeling, but you know what? It's really a more horrible feeling if you have been in denial to yourself. Because a lot of people that have been cheated on, and I don't mean to be offensive, but some women that have been cheated on, they allow the cheating to go on. Once or twice maybe, but when you allow, there are signs, and a lot of times we don't address it.
Of course, I agree.
See, that's the problem. We don't address it. We let it go on, and then we let it boil over. And then we got to call our girlfriends, but guess what? We ain't never called her before because either we were embarrassed, we didn't want to say, we don't address it.
Right.
We don't call him on when we know he's. That's not my smell. But I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going.
Right.
I ain't going to say nothing.
I do agree on that. If you suspect the man that you cheating, you have to call him on it.
And if you keep doing it, if you keep.
My thing is that women find out that
They
have
stay.
2, 3, 4 babies on them, and they still there. So then it's on you.
I don't have no baby.
So, at that point, it's up to you to walk away. And be, not saying that cheating,
You have to be accountable.
And cheating doesn't automatically say the marriage is over.
Sometimes it's just about growth.
Right, and it can be repaired, and you can come back after